The hell is that? Hello, little fella, what are you doing here? Ow! You're not playing about, are you? There, you. You're a feisty little fella, aren't you? Now, what are you thinking of doing with those? He's a bad kitty. Japanese media has always been tricky to both translate and market to a Western audience, but it seems within recent years there's been more of a following than before. Now, I suppose this is down to Hasbro's initiative to introduce two of the most key characters within Japanese media into their HasLab series, as well as introduce a varying cast within the Legacy line. But I still feel that there's not enough of a focus on Beast Wars 2nd or Neo, two crucial series within the Beast Wars timeline. What do I mean by this? Well, so far we've only received 4 characters outside of Leo Convoy. Some of those characters from both 2nd and Neo deserve an update, or even exposure to the Western world. 2nd and Neo had such incredible designs, such as Big Convoy, Galvatron, and even Magmatron, which I do believe need updates. Really great toys for the time, and much adored by those that have the pleasure of owning them. The original Leo Convoy toy was originally released in 1998, and adorned a much brighter colour scheme compared to the modern adaptation. Leo Convoy was the second general to grace the Beast Wars series after Optimus Primal, adorning a white lion alternate form, very fitting seeing as the king of the jungle. His main attack was the Lion Typhoon, which was constructed from his mane. As the series progressed, a new lion appeared, called Leo Jr., who thought that Convoy was his dad. This was a clever use of the Magnaboss toy's prow figure that formed the head of the combined form. Here in Lion mode, Leo Convoy looks impressive. He really does look screen accurate, hiding most of that robot detailing underneath and doing a really good job of it. It seems Hasbro's really learnt from their Kingdom line. Now his main colour scheme here is a nice pure white and a blonde gold. Unfortunately his eyes do share that same blonde gold, which I do wish they had painted, but overall it looks nice for a Voyager class figure. There's only one thing that I'm not too keen on with this figure, and that's his mouth. Opening it up kind of makes him look a bit gobsmacked. It's still a nice feature to include that. Articulation on this guy is fairly limited, being a beast figure, with rotation on a mushroom peg for the paw, as well as a forward and back. And by untabbing the shoulder joint here on that red tab there, you can get a little bit of a butterfly joint or even some more movement there. Quite nice. Moving over to the back, his hips are on a universal, which is more for his robot mode. You get a rotation there, which isn't needed. Got a knee joint here, go back and forth, and you've got an ankle pivot, which is more used for this mode. His tail is cast in that same gold blonde plastic, and he's got some really nice moulded fur detailing all over the figure. Overall he's a really nice lion. Now, as a part of his Evo Fusion gimmick, by taking the mane, flipping it forward, it reveals 2 guns. You can also unclip these 2 main parts which swing forward. You can also tab in some guns or anything else that you wish. I'd say he's a very nice lion. Now, transformation on this guy is quite clever. I do like the twists and turns that you need to do for the legs, and I must say I absolutely love how the lion head and the tail become the shoulders for the robot mode. Now, the head is stored within the belly, which then flipped right round to become the chest, and I think that that's quite clever for a Beast Wars figure. I will say this, going into robot is much easier than going into lion. there's a lot of tabs that need to be put in place, and also that back panel, it likes to pop off quite a fair bit. I don't know if that's just me or whether that's a universal problem with the figure. Leo Convoy in his robot mode looks great. Being broken up, or breaking up that white with a bit more red, a little bit of blue, some silver, and still that blonde gold. It really does look great. He's very reminiscent of Optimus Prime, definitely in that head sculpt. It seems like the Japanese really love to utilise that Optimus head sculpt for a lot of their leaders, or at least that sort of aesthetic. Now, Leo Convoy in this mode boasts quite a fair bit of articulation, especially for being a modern figure. Starting at the head, he's got a very nice ball joint. Ever so slightly tilt to get some more dynamic poses. His shoulders, where his lion head and tail are, can rotate back for a bit more articulation on that shoulder, which is just on a universal, with a mushroom peg as well, and a nice 90-degree bend at the elbow. His wrists do not have any articulation due to transformation. His waist, however, has a nice 360-degree rotation and really nice posability. Hip joints, again, are on universals, very much the same as the line mode. However, there is a double bend here, except it goes backwards on one, forward on another. That's mostly down to transformation, but you still get a nice 90-degree bend there. Ankles are still on that nice 90-degree rocker. Overall, he is a very, very nice figure. Now, with his Evo gimmick, of course, you still have those guns up top, which is more for line mode. But on the back, if we have a look in this cavity, you can see those other two guns. This is just where I like to store them so they don't go missing. But they just tab in at the back there and can tab into the line head on that tab there. But you also have one more thing. Now, this cat's got claws, and fairly big claws at that. These just come forward on both sides. It's a pretty big blades for Leo Convoy here to fight with. They look pretty impressive. Very big claws. Now, Leo Convoy is a great example of a figure that desperately needed an upgrade, and I definitely think that they hit the nail on the head with the Legacy one. I mean, Legacy in general is incredible. It's pulling different concepts from different universes within the Transformers world and releasing new figures of them, and I really can't wait to see what else they can do with it. But one figure that I do have to say desperately needs an upgrade from that Japanese Beast Wars series, it's got to be Big Convoy. I mean, this figure is wicked cool anyway, but just to see one in that lead class scale, oh, it would be incredible. It really would. So that's been my look at Legacy Evolution Leo Convoy. I really do think that he's a great figure for what we're getting at the minute. And I like the fact that we're getting some unique characters. Some characters that haven't had the spotlight for quite a while, or not at all. Now, I can understand the plight for better quality in terms of plastic and in articulation, but I'm just happy to be having the figures that we're getting in Legacy. Now, if you did enjoy this, don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, drop a cheeky comment on what you think of this figure. But for the meantime, if you do want to see more content like this, go head over to my Instagram page where I do daily photography. If you guys enjoyed this, then why don't you head over to Leicester Vintage Toy Shop channel and check out their Toy Shop on Tour series, as we follow Joe and Gav's adventure around the UK and Europe, exploring new toy shops and collecting some old toys.
Action figures, dolls, Star Wars, weird stuff, Transformers.